Babe, someone was asking me about my opinion of your natural hair journey.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want to talk about it because it just felt like it's personal to you and not me. But when I thought about it, the more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, I definitely had an opinion.
Yeah.
Didn't I?
Absolutely. I think it does impact you. You know, how I appear visually will have some kind of impact on you.
Yeah.
So you're bound to have an opinion.
Thinking back, because your hair's been natural for a long time now,
yeah.
Hasn't it? How long?
I think since our eldest was around 2 and he's going to be 11 this year, I think so.
It's about 8-9 years.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when we first got married.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And you were...
My hair was relaxed then.
Yeah. And I remember being shocked at how much it cost you to kind of...
the upkeep.
Yeah. The maintenance costs.
Yeah, can we call it that, the upkeep?
I remember being shocked.
Yeah. Well, I think...
Because yeah. And I remember like...
We were pretty strapped and it was... but in my mind it was very much like, this is as important as getting food. I can't not have my hair done. It wouldn't make any sense. It was a kind of hair management that required every 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, renewal in some way or another.
So it was just as important. So does that apply to all black women? Like, just, you know, having your hair done is just important as food?
Well, I mean, maybe that sounds a bit extreme, but it just felt like it was non-negotiable really in that sense.
Yeah,
you know, I think that was just my perspective, and I just think, you know, food's non-negotiable. Getting your hair done is just one of those. You just have to. We just get it done. You can't not have it done. Our hair demands that you get it done.
I remember asking you if you could get it done cheaper elsewhere, and you didn't say anything, but I sensed the Great Wall of China,
the invisible screen
style resistance to
soundproof screen
to
go up,
kind of like,
yeah,
you know, questioning and that whole sort of process. But the thing is, like, I think for me, if I'm honest with you, the thing. It wasn't so much, you know, the cost or how often you were getting your hair done or anything like that. It was how it made you appear, and it became for me about your identity, because right. I kind of felt like, you know, we were surrounded by a lot of African women and they would have their hair in a certain way, and I didn't think that those styles suited you. And I kind of also felt like, you know, the more we spoke about it, the more I felt like, well, the hair's fake, you know, the style doesn't suit your face, and I just kind of felt like, obviously you're a beautiful woman, and I felt like I wasn't kind of seeing you. Yeah, I mean,
obviously I hadn't. That wasn't my angle. I felt very different to that, and to be honest, I still do. I think braids and I think are a beautiful thing, and I don't think you know, it's just something I love, and you know, you know, if I wanted to, I think I'd have it done again in some way. But again, you know, my journey evolved into something else, didn't it? So
yeah, I mean,
but I mean, obviously, this is about what you think about it, and it's not. I mean,
I
mean, on the flip side,
what I think about it ties into what you think and how you feel.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
I mean, now I've made, you know, you felt, you know, what I was doing, the path I was on didn't suit me. It wasn't me, my true identity. But I think, you know, there's a lot tied up in black women's hair, a lot of feelings and emotions, and you know, there's historical references, there's cultural, the whole cultural angle, there's also people's opinions, there's society's view of black women's hair, you know, and it's incredible, and it's a very powerful issue. I mean, people have lost jobs based on how your hair looks. You know what I mean? A black woman may lose a job based on how her hair looks. Nothing to do. She may be the most talented in the room, but you know, she may not have the look, whatever look it is that people are after. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just think it's a massive issue. It's a massive, you know, massive issue. You know, it's political, it's social, it's cultural, it's emotional, it's physical. It's, you know, it's all of those things plus more. So, you know what I mean? I think the decision that I have now, that I took to just have my hair natural was, yeah, I can't, strange enough I can't, it felt like a gradual thing. It wasn't an overnight thing, but I felt like it was just, you know.
Well, I don't remember it being a gradual thing, because I remember sort of raising it with you and being like, well, you know, why don't you wear your hair natural? And sometimes you just laugh at me, you know. And, you know, I think there's this whole kind of thing of, you know, what do you know? You know, kind of like, not just from you, you know, it's not that you were just aiming that at me. I think just in general, like, you know, if a guy brings that kind of a discussion to a black woman, it's kind of like, ha ha ha, yeah, whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it's almost like, you know, you haven't got a clue what, you know, how difficult it is, or what you're talking about, or, you know, the maintenance of natural hair, or I'm not quite sure where that kind of was coming from, and it was all in humour, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think there was something in that response.
Absolutely. I mean, I think, you know, when Chris Rock's film Good Hair came out, you know, and to see, I mean, he himself was incredibly surprised as he went on a journey about discovering about black women's hair. You know, it's you know, it's an incredible, I think, very powerful landmark kind of film, really, because, you know, he explored, it wasn't just, I don't like it, I don't like your weave, or I don't like relaxed hair, or you're always going to go and get your hair done. I think he was, you know, the documentary was about unpicking a little bit about what's happening and why it is, and what's, you know, really the science. There's also took the emotional and the social and the political and all the different things, and then, you know, it kind of, he talks about his own preference, you know, towards the end of the thing, and how his daughters, he was resolved to keep his daughter's hair natural. He loved it, he was very into that.
Yeah.
So I understand, but I think he, you know, obviously it's fine to have the opinion that you have, it's fine to have that opinion, but also I think it's doing the digging.
Sure.
It's understanding why women have had their hair relaxed. It's understanding, you know, black women's lack of relationship with their hair. You know what I mean? And how you put your hand in the hands of a hairdresser, because, you know, you may not have necessarily grown up doing your own hair, understanding it, knowing anything about it. You know what I mean? And also as well, you know, there's the element of fitting in. You know, this isn't Africa, this isn't Jamaica. This is England, you know what I mean? And you know, and also there's fashion. There's also, you know what I mean? So you have your hair relaxed and straight. There's a lot of stuff behind black hair. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of emotional, social issues, you know, psychological issues.
So like, I mean, I was really glad when you decided to go natural, because I felt like, you know, I was going to see you for who you are, and, you know, I just love your hair. I just think it's amazing, and when you put, you know, fake hair in your hair, I was just like, you know, whatever kind of thing. Like, if you're happy with it, then I'm happy, but I wasn't really happy.
Yeah.
And I don't really care about what other people think, you know, like, I don't care what people think of your hair or any black woman's hair, like, in a workplace, on the street, you know, friends, relatives, it doesn't matter to me. Like, I just kind of, I think as your husband, I want to see your beauty, you know, and your hair is a part of that.
Yeah, it is. And I think, you know, my relationship with my hair is completely different now. And because it's, you know, it's an element of control and understanding and knowledge that I now have. You know, it is me, the decisions are mine. I control the process, I manage the process, I reap the benefits, I deal with the frustrations, I it's all about me, and my relationship isn't the hairdresser, or you know, because I think in the past I'm so frustrated with it, I'm just going to go hairdressers, you know what I mean? And I think, you know, or I'm just going to hide under a wig, or I just can't manage it, it's too tough to comb, I'm just going to put it in braids. Do you know what I mean? People go through all sorts of reasons. I mean, that's just highlighting some, but I think there's an element of, you know, it's on me, and it, you know what I mean? And I think the triumphs and the successes are mine.
I mean, it's a lot of work. I know,
Oh, yeah,
you know, from seeing you and you know what you've been through and the research you've done, and you know, it's a lot of work, and it's interesting because there was one or two occasions when I felt kind of really encouraged by that process.
Yeah.
Because I kind of felt like I was understanding you on a deeper level through that journey.
Yeah, because it's not just, I decided to go natural, because I think
There's an element to it that's empowering.
It is empowering. I think you're just deciding that, you know, I am, for want of a better word, I'm going back to, my roots, I'm reconnecting with who I am. I think a friend once said just about how she'd heard of how people have, there was follicle counselling available. I think I laughed at the term because it was hilarious. I thought to myself, did such a thing exist?
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, delving a bit deeper, I realised, of course, it will exist. You know, there are people that go to counselling, and she was referring to other black women that she'd maybe heard of in the States, that go to counselling because they have a problem. They have difficulty with how the hair grows out of how it comes out of their head. They feel like they just can't handle it. They don't like it, so they have to do something to it, and they're emotionally impacted by. They're struggling with that whole process on a big emotional level. So they go and seek counselling. And at first I found it funny, but actually I thought that's true, because obviously.
But